Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another episode of We Talk Talent series. This series is specially curated by the Economic Times HR World to discuss everything related to the human capital management space. Today with us we have Mr. Udbhav Ganjoo, Head of HR Global Operation India, Emerging Asia and Access Market, Viatris. Welcome Udbhav.
Thank you, Priya. It's wonderful being here, and thanks for inviting me for your program.
Udbhav is a seasoned HR professional with over 3 decades of experience across industries like engineering, automobile, services, and pharmaceuticals with multicultural workforce across geographies. He has vast experience across talent management and maximizing human performance through the strategic application of a variety of HR initiatives with successful track record of addressing challenges related to talent acquisition, development, diversity, total rewards, retention, employee relation, merger and acquisitions, training, and organizational development. He partnered closely with the business to drive strategic HR initiative and managed operational responsibilities for effective talent management, maximizing productivity, change management, employee diversity, succession planning, organizational design, and employee engagement in various leadership positions. Prior to joining Viatris, he was working with Renbaxi as a global head of HR and worked for global R&D, manufacturing and quality, corporate and global business operation, covering more than 132 countries, and was on board of Renbaxi Russia, South Africa, Poland, Zenotech, and other overseas subsidiaries. So, with the diverse experience that you have, and we have also been seeing that the technology being one of the biggest disruption in the industry, along with, of course, the pandemic that we have been going through. The human capital space have been evolved a lot in past few years, whether it's related to the talent or the engagement. So the whole talent management space is evolving with the time. So with that, I would like to ask you what kind of skills do you look for while hiring across functions? Is it technical skills, soft skills, behavior skills, or a combination of both?
Okay, Priya, thanks for your lovely introduction. And now coming straight to your question, now I'll be focusing more on the pharmaceutical sector where I belong to, and I have been associated with the pharmaceutical business for the last now more than 2 decades in my career. So India as a country enjoys an important position in the global pharmaceutical sector. And the country has a large pool of scientists and engineers and technologists with a potential to steer the industry ahead to greater heights. And India is the pharmaceutical pharmacy, what they call it, of the world. And coming when we look at hiring, it's a mix of technical as well as behavioral skills, what we look at. And depending upon the level for which we are looking for the talent, the mix is decided, and each of these two skills, that is the technical as well as behavioral skills, are very much needed and can't be overlooked uh, over one another. Uh, Pharma as a whole uh, starts from the spectrum of developing or discovering a drug which involves R&D skills, then your manufacturing skills, and finally your business development or commercial skills. So it depends on the level where we are looking at what sort of a skill we are hiring or we are looking at. Both behavioral as well as technical competencies or skills or combination of both are looked at. Yes, at a technical level, particularly at the scientist level, where they are supposed to use their skills and knowledge for drug development and drug discovery, we, we, we look at technical skills more in terms of what the role requires. And as we move along the chain, where a manager or a group leader is supposed to perform the role, we definitely look more towards the behavioral skills in terms of team development, management, in terms of putting the team together to achieve whatever assignments they are supposed to do. And it's a mix of both. And obviously, on the leadership levels and all, people's skills, behavioral skills, team work related skills are looked at. Yes, technical in combination with the behavioral skills are required at various levels, and man management is the most important skill which is required in the times which we are. So it's a combination of both. The more we get into the value chain in terms of the marketing, even uh, over the years, in pharmaceutical, healthcare space, there has been an evolution of skills which are supposed to be there apart from their knowledge-based skills. Uh, so we look at, apart from their technical core specialization skills, we look at their skills in terms of how do they how savvy are they as far as digital space is concerned, how they can now look at the data, because of late data analytics has become a very important part of the business. So these are the skills, digital skills, data and data analytical skills, behavioral skills, all of them are looked at, and depending upon the level, the area, uh, it is decided what is required, and we try to have the best of everything in a particular talent what we are looking at and particular skill we are looking at. So it's not only now one technical skill or a behavioral skill. It's a holistic skills. You look at a potential candidate and the talent what you would like the organization to have.
Yeah, exactly. There has to be a holistic talent that we look at. We can't overlook either the tech part of it or the behavioral part of it. Since the timing also have changed a lot and it has opened a new different pathways of the skills that we will need for future. So with that, I would ask my second question. So there has been a lot of change amid to the technology and the pandemic. I would like to ask you, how do you see job evolving in your sector?
Well, yes, last couple of years have been the time of destruction and disruption and continuous transformation of how we work at. But healthcare sector in the last 2 years has seen a lot of change in terms of the consumerism, that is the shifting of the power to the patients, which was not earlier there. And we are in a sector where at the end of the day our customer is the patient, and so with all these needs changing, mm, the the jobs which are evolving in our healthcare system, and I'll be more focused on pharmaceutical area. We have a lot of new areas which have come up, and more presumably with this pandemic, we are looking at skill sets, particularly in case I go for a niche technical areas. There's a lot of skill sets which are now evolving in the sector of biologics, genome, vaccines, and new drugs, which are there to be taken care in terms of any epidemic or pandemic coming up. And more importantly, the healthcare as such has seen a sea change as far as the patients are concerned. So when we come to skill set, apart from the technical, like we have jobs evolving in the digital space, in the IT space, in the data and analytics and management scale space. And when I talk about the pharma, we have roles coming in our pharmacovigilance space, in the clinical research space, biologic space, regulatory space. And since India, most of the pharma sector is catering to the India geography as well as overseas. A lot of work has come to India, which usually was done by particularly the multinationals in their respective home where they were from. But all these roles and jobs have come over to India. One, because of the skill availability, and two, young graduates and postgraduates in terms of the science. India has the largest ones, and we are one of the world's best education system as far as the science is concerned in India. So there is availability of talent. So we have roles coming up in almost all the defined areas of pharma, as well as be it in the R&D space, be it in the manufacturing space, be it in the product development space, or in space of medical and clinical research. So jobs are evolving, and added to it is the digitalization, the IT area roles, where we have the skill sets available of various IT and IT enabled services available in India. So we have pharma is an evolving sector, and it's going and growing at a very fast pace in India, particularly in case we talk about the roles and the scope of the pharma sector. And it's an ever evolving sector where we have roles evolving, and health is a core need of any population. So we have a lot of roles which are evolving. It's not one. By and large, the pharmaceutical sector in India, all the roles are evolving in terms of the science, in terms of the skills which are required to get a medicine out in the market in any form or shape.
Yeah, as you rightly mentioned, that jobs are ever evolving, and pharmaceutical being one of the flourishing sector currently globally as well. With that, I would like to ask you my last question. Will you please share with us your employee engagement strategy and how it has changed amid the pandemic, since the pandemic has opened up a lot of new challenges for the employee engagement strategies for the industry?
So, in terms of employee engagement, like in terms of how we engage our workforce, uh, it always depends upon the philosophy, the vision of the organization, and how they perceive their workforce to be there. So employment engagement is not only HR's role; it's the organizational role. HR and leadership, they really partner with the managers who have to drive the engagement at the end of the day. It's not that something the employee engagement is driven by HR standalone or the leadership standalone. It is I think the first and most of it, what we are doing is the managers are driving the engagement, and HR and leadership support this initiative in a more broader way. And yes, HR as such has always been people focused. We have been ensuring the business objectives are met while engaging with the employees. The pandemic has been a great teacher for all of us, and I think what has brought out during this pandemic is the need for human connect, people touch, and empathetic leadership has becoming has become now a more acknowledged way of leading any organization across various sectors, and organizations are not limited to India geography. It is now across the spectrum of business world or other organizations as well. As an organization, we have always been people focused. However, during the post pandemic, we have explored non-traditional ways of employee engagement, such as holistic employee well-being, that is shifting your focus to the holistic way, mm, which the key focus is on emotional and mental well-being of the employees, promoting various employee assistance programs and using digital tools to help people to utilize the services in case they want. And in terms of the focus has been more on inclusions and people connect amongst the employees. And apart from this, there have been recognizing and celebrating employees as well as celebrating various achievements out there, peer support or networking of employees through buddy and mentoring programs, programs on coaching and mentoring, programs which involve the career development of people, how we manage various aspects of employee life cycle, and customizing employee support, along with training our managers to get into the mode of listening more from the employees rather than now talking in terms of what employee is required to do or not to do, more to shift the focus on being more patient with employees and listening to what the employees say, and try to support employees in a way which can be beneficial for them to be more engaged with the organization in whatever big or small things they do. And covering all this, what I said, more important in an employee engagement, what we have been focusing on is the employee communication, how effectively we communicate with employees, and communication not only from the organization to or the managers to the employees, but what communication we receive from the employees. And that has played a very important and significant role in keeping the employees engaged, and which cuts upon the any of the barriers. And from the platform perspective, we have our own internal mode of communication, which is very extensively used as far as the employee engagement is concerned. But yes, communication remains a very important tool in all what we do, whether it is recognition, whether it is holistic well-being. Employee communication is a vehicle which we use very extensively in communicating with our employees and listening to them. So this is mm, in nutshell what we have been doing on employee engagement. Like there are other vehicles which are equally as important, being whether it is recognizing employees for what they do, uh, celebrating their achievements. So it's a more of a holistic approach of keeping employees engaged with the organization, or employees being engaged within themselves to achieve what they need to achieve.
Yeah, thank you, Udbhav, for sharing all those points. And I can totally relate to the that part that communication plays a very important key role in this. And like how you said that it start at the managerial level, and then the HR and the management is there to support that journey. Thank you
Yes.
so much for all your insights today. I think audiences have got so much to learn from you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priya. It was nice being here, and thanks.